You guys, now are you ready for the interview portion of the show?
Yeah!
Okay. This wonderful woman is one of the first people I met in the comedy world. She runs a great podcast called the JV Podcast, which I did. And on top of that, she's a co-founder of Sketchfest, a huge festival in San Francisco. And on top of that, she's been on You're the Worst. She played Cora in The Legends of Korra. And she's also a series regular on Stand Against Evil right now on IFC. So please welcome Janet Varney.
Yeah, there.
Okay.
Is this on?
Yeah.
Is it on? Yes.
Am I on?
You're always on.
I feel off.
Really?
You know what? I spent the whole time laughing and enjoying the wonderful comedians, but also having a separate private conversation in my head, which was, are we doing a standing interview?
You're like, well, how are we doing? Would you like to stand?
I was so
we
ready.
can stand.
See how much that changes?
You know,
that
maybe let's screw the chairs.
I mean, this is it becomes this
Yeah!
Better. It's better, right?
It's both weird and better.
It feels strangely
like
less official.
Now we're like a comedy duo.
Yeah, now I feel like we're supposed to tell jokes. Let's get them back.
Okay, great.
Okay.
It must be a trio.
Oh.
Mike can't.
Uh-oh.
I apologize to everyone.
Who said live theater was perfect?
Is it my microphone?
Yeah. I'm gonna fix it.
I love your tie, by the way.
Thanks. I'm sorry I'm wearing a full overcoat also.
No, you're Janet. You're one of the most stylish people I've ever met. Yeah.
I walked here from a very long way away, and I'm still cold. My hands are still cold, and it's like 70
Really?
degrees.
Wait, you just cold-blooded? Cold-blooded? Your blood runs cold?
My blood does run cold. Wait, does that mean if your blood runs cold, doesn't that mean you don't get cold easily?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh. No, I know it all in the back.
Eric, I'm hot-blooded. Check it and see.
What?
That's
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Really? Wait, what? That was a groaner?
I didn't get it.
It's just an old song.
Oh, it's a song? Okay.
But it's not like an old song where I was expecting necessary. But you know what? It deserved it. You're absolutely right. It was like a dad joke. Because the reaction was, I'll recreate it for you. Since you were busy doing other things. I said, I'm hot-blooded, check and see. And this is what 5 people did. Ah!
Oh, the whole thing is a song? Check it. Check it. Is the song Check It?
You're doing a remix right now.
How does the song go? How does it go?
It's pretty sweet. Guys. I'm hot-blooded, hot-blooded.
Wow.
Did it feel like I was performing an exorcism on you?
Yeah, a little bit.
It felt like that. It felt like
No,
that.
that was really good. Do you sing?
Sometimes.
Yeah?
No, I wouldn't use that as the example.
Well, you can tell you got the chops.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So, tell us a little bit about how you started with comedy. You've been doing acting and comedy for a really long time. So, did you go to college for it, or did you just start out in LA, or just give a quick, background?
Give us a snappy
Yeah.
CV recital.
Give us a little bit of a, how-to.
Okay.
Yeah,
if
first,
you're
what do you
able
do?
to be born in Tucson, Arizona, I would do that.
Okay.
The first very important
That's
piece. For those of you who weren't, I would just leave now because I don't think we haven't been able to turn back time yet. I'm not going to do a share impression though.
From Arizona.
I guess.
Yeah. You're the proof.
Or Spain or Boston. Now I'm just shouting out like I'm doing crowd work.
From,
or Boston or Spain.
Yeah, you've been paying attention.
Yeah, Cupertino. But no, I liked theater when I was a kid. I just did through public school and whatnot, and I was a big comedy fan, but for some reason I never married the two. It didn't occur to me that you could love comedy and be like a theater kid, and also, and then I don't know, that to me that was an impossibility. It was like, oh, you know, those are the funny people, and I'll do this because that's this Shakespeare thing is what. By the way, he's great. I know that's like an edgy thing to say, but
we're all fine with Shakespeare.
Nothing wrong with Shakespeare at
okay.
all. But yeah, even like through college and stuff where I did go for a theater degree, but I had friends who were doing improv and sketch and stuff like that, and I just was totally intimidated by it. I didn't feel like I just didn't feel like that was something I would ever be able to do. And then I got coaxed into joining a sketch group towards the end of college by some friends, two of whom I founded Sketchfest with.
Wow, so you've known them for a really long time.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I was super reluctant, and I got dragged in, and then it turned out to be really fun, and that sort of changed
That
everything.
really helped a lot, you think, getting involved in sketch and...
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And improv. I mean, improv is it's a cliche that people say in LA all the time, I think. But even if you're not interested in performing, I always say take an improv class.
Really?
If you're a writer or you're a teacher or anything. I mean, honestly, I think that it just helps in situations like when you don't know if you're gonna have a stool or not. Just tough, pressury situations like that.
Well, and then Sketchfest came out of that. So Sketchfest, just so you guys know, is one of the biggest comedy festivals in the country. Wouldn't you say?
I guess it is.
Yeah, it's amazing. And really cool. So how did that come about? Were you guys just like, we should just do our own thing, or what inspired that?
I would say just there at the time there weren't a whole bunch of places where you could do anything but stand up in San Francisco, and San Francisco has such a rich, wonderful comedy history. But at the time that we were doing stuff, principally we would come and do like stand-up open mics, but we were a full sketch group. We would bring wigs on stage, and there would be no place to change, and it was clunky and uncomfortable for everyone.
What was it called, your sketch group?
We were called Totally False People. We named ourselves after I think it was like a Dave Foley quote. We were huge Kids in the Hall fans, so it was some oblique reference to Kids in the Hall.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that was a spectacular failure. So we thought, rather than quit, why not see if we can rent a theater where people who will come knowing what they signed up for, rather than being surprised and calling it play acting, which was a voicemail left on a comedy club's answering machine when someone complained.
They called it
I don't know what
play
kind
acting?
of play acting you had last night. It was my bachelorette party. So we rented a theater, and we reached out to 5 other sketch groups that we had come to know in the tiny, almost non-existent circuit that existed at the time, and said, we're thinking about calling this a festival because we don't want to do a full run of a 45-minute, questionably good, not really, set of sketches. That's not something that you want to do for 7 days a week. But we sort of shared the bill with everybody got the opportunity to headline with each other to sort of introduce different audiences that already had followings, or the groups that had followings with other audiences, and it went really well. And
how many years has it been going on now?
We just had our 17th year.
Whoa!
In January.
So amazing.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine how you do that with all the acting you do, because you're working on 2 shows now.
Yeah.
And then you also run that every year, and that you do all the booking, and how do you do it? And then how do you come on our show? And
I don't know. I shouldn't be here. It's a mistake. No, it's hard. It's definitely. I mean, there's a certain point at which I sort of shut down everything else I'm doing and just focus on producing the festival. But it's also such an amazing thing to get to do, because it is not tied to this industry, and no one is making a call based on your hair color, whether you're going to get to do it. What I mean?
You've sort of purposefully made it not too industry based.
Yeah,
right?
I would say not at all.
It's not. Yeah, like other festivals.
The amount of agents and managers or people like that who come up. I feel that we have 6 that we adore, your manager Bruce Smith being one of them. And otherwise we sort of don't invite it or encourage it, and it's really just about the performers and the San Francisco audiences and stuff. And
that's cool.
Yeah,
I loved
really
doing
fun.
it, so thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, I love having you.
It was really
great. You
great.
come bring this show.
I'd love to.
Right? And you guys should all come.
Oh my God!
This exact show. Yes. Each and every one of you as the performing audience.
And definitely him. He's got good lines.
For sure. Old boy.
How is
Inside joke between us. And all of you.
how is Stan Against Evil going?
Great.
You got a third season, right?
Yeah.
So this is her show that she's a series regular on.
Yeah, it was created by
And,
Danny Gould, who's a brilliant
I
stand-up
auditioned
comedian.
for it. But didn't.
Well, but Erica, you should be very sad that you don't get slathered with theatrical goo.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
when
jealous.
we slay puppet demons.
Is that fun though?
It's really fun. It's also a sticky, hot, sweaty Georgia summer encounter.
Oh.
So it's really
Wait, are
challenging.
you're shooting it in Georgia?
Yeah, we shoot it in
cool.
outside Atlanta.
And it's with Dana Gould.
And it's with
who's
Dana
a really
and John-
great comic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John C. McGinley's in it. He's brilliant, and so it's really fun and it's very funny. But I didn't put two and two together that if you were going to be spoofing like a horror action situation, you will
Yeah.
actually be doing a lot of things like running fast.
Oh, really?
And jumping over things.
Right.
And
You're getting exercise.
so I'm getting a little exercise and some real flattering brown polyester pants because I play a sheriff.
And then are you shooting that at the same time as you're shooing You're the Worst? Because
There's a little overlap, but usually
Okay.
You're the Worst comes
So
in
You're the
a little
Worst is
later.
on FX. If you should check it out.
It's
It's
a
really
fun
good.
show. That's a really fun show.
Really good.
Yeah.
And so where does that shoot? Here?
That shoots here, yeah. And there was a day last year where I had to go from like working at 4 a.m. truly being covered in some sort of organic sticky goo, and like get on a plane and then change into a pregnancy pad and like
Oh
a
my
push-up
gosh.
bra and 4-inch heels, and
Wow.
that is way more uncomfortable.
I thought you were wearing a uniform in it, like a cop uniform.
Oh yeah, but in one I would wear like a holster and all that kind of stuff, and then in the other my character has been pregnant for what feels like years.
Okay.
Multiple seasons my character was pregnant, so that's a whole different, like that's a physically very uncomfortable as well.
That's cool. Yeah.
What a treat.
But fun. But fun.
treat, but very
yeah,
fun,
but
very
fun.
fun,
And you're
very fun.
grateful.
I'm very grateful. I'm doing that thing that people do where they downplay the best
Right,
things
exactly.
in their lives
Yeah, you're
because they feel
doing-
shame
you-
about
yeah,
them.
you're
Like,
doing
oh, I
what
don't
I
deserve
do.
good things
Yeah.
to happen, so
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable sometimes.
Right.
Like,
So you do.
does that make you like me more?
Yes. Yeah.
Great.
We all like you
Great.
more.
My back hurts a little bit right now.
Yeah.
If that.
You just
Okay.
got 5 points. Yeah.
Great.
So what are your future goals coming up? Like, are you still doing the JV podcast?
The JV Club,
You guys
yeah,
should-
yeah.
Oh, the JV Club, which is all women, and she interviews a lot of female comics and
We
about
talk
their
about our awkward teenage years.
yeah, their teenage years.
Yeah, I still do
And-
that. In the summer, I do interview guys. I call it my Boys of Summer series, and
Oh, well,
each one of them has to sing a
inclusive.
snippet of Don Henley's Boys of Summer at the end, a
Aww.
cappella and
That's
unprompted and unprepared.
It's a way for
but
you
yeah,
to torture men.
yeah, it's the only opportunity I can think of. Yeah, so that's my podcast on the Nerdist Network. It's free. I think we're closing in on 300 episodes, and it's
Oh
one of my favorite
wow,
things to do.
jeez.
It's really fun. Yeah, Erica's great on it.
Aw.
The only thing that happens now is when I meet someone new that I really like, I find myself, like, they start to tell me about themselves, and I do this very gross, show busy thing where I'm like, oh, don't tell me. Save it for the podcast. Ew, my life isn't important. My relationships with people aren't important unless they're being recorded.
Pretty much.
Annals of
Yeah,
history.
pretty
That's so
much.
pretentious and awful.
I know, it's like we document everything now. So.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, do you want to take a question perhaps from the audience
I'd
before
love to
we
take one.
one question? I'd love to
I'd love
talk
to
to
hear
you.
all the questions, and I'd like to pick a question. And
Yes.
then we'll meet here tomorrow night. and I'll
Yes,
answer
and
that
keep
one.
doing this. Yeah. By the way, I just want to say I think you're a really good example of someone who just made your own stuff happen. You know, and it's like once you started making well, you're inspiring me because I feel like it's like what your path, what you're saying is you started making things and then you started getting parts and everything, and it's like those things came after you just started making your own stuff happen.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's really
absolutely
inspiring.
true. It's always good to have your own point of view and do stuff whether or not someone is asking you to.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
it for you. Yeah.
Even if it's bad improv.
Yeah. Especially.
Yeah, especially. So does anyone have a question
I
for
do.
Janet? Yes?
Yay! It was up for a long time, sorry.
She's my neighbor.
Yeah, I am. I'm not
What's your name?
Kimberly.
Yes, I'm a normal person.
She's very funny.
Oh, and let's all wish Erica a happy birthday.
Happy
We're celebrating her birthday.
April 10th.
Great. Listen, that's around the corner. That's
It
around
is.
the corner.
It
We're gonna
is.
start celebrating.
Yeah.
Kimberly, what was your question?
Well, I love hearing about the theme of your podcast. So my question is, like, what is your most embarrassing story from your, like middle school, like coming of age years?
I don't remember any of those years.
Really?
If it turned out that it was like I had amnesia for those years, and so I was just trying to glom onto other people's histories to feel whole. I don't. That's a good question. What I'm really bad at is a sort of like hyperbolic. Like I'm really bad at name your most embarrassing. What's your favorite this, or like what's your best memory of. I find so intimidating.
I'm so sorry, I didn't.
No, we're gonna have a small fight outside, but not outside, like in the cafe area.
Do you have any memories from your childhood at all?
None, but
None?
a blank. I'm drawing a blank.
Wow.
No.
That's what happens when you grow up
Yeah.
in Arizona.
I
You
think,
just block it out.
I think that, I wouldn't say that this isn't a thing that happened to me that is like, it wasn't an event that happened to me, but I definitely went through a phase where when it turned out I had to get glasses, I was really excited because I thought they made me look like James Spader, and while I didn't share that with anyone, I'm giving you the gift of I'm very embarrassed by that
No, that
now.
qualifies.
Yeah,
that's
that
good.
I would like
Yeah.
open my locker and sort of, I don't know, did I keep a mirror in my locker? There's no way. I had pictures of Cheryl and Fenn from Playboy in my locker, true story.
embarrassing.
I can say that now that our Twin Peaks review has passed at Sketch Fest.
Yes.
Please don't anyone tell her that. She'll, retroactively be super creeped out by me. But I would like see myself in the mirror in the girls' room and be like, yeah, I look like James Spader. Everything's coming up,
He's
Janet.
hot.
Right?
Yeah.
Like in Sex Lies and Videotapes.
He was so hot in that.
Obsessed with that movie.
Yeah.
Although looking back, I don't think he wore glasses in that, so I'm not even sure why the glasses were. There is some movie.
Maybe you
in
didn't
which he
need
wears
glasses, and that's why things looked weird when you were wearing the glasses.
Yeah.
You looked like James Spader to yourself.
That's right.
Right?
I forgot to mention
Yeah,
I did not
you
have
don't
bad
need-
vision.
you didn't have bad vision.
Buying grocery store glasses.
Yeah.
And blurred my face enough to make. I heard someone go like, oh, so it's a mutter James Spader movie with glasses. I swear someone had a theory. Did you really have a theory? No one has anything?
Mannequin.
Stargate!
I think he did in Mannequin.
Yeah, I think
Did
it
he
is
work in
Mannequin.
Stargate? They
Yeah.
didn't have some kind of
Yes, he
future
did.
contact lenses in Stargate that were ahead of our time.
He's a good idol to have.
He's still going.
Yeah, he's still going.
He's still going.
I don't know what he's going.
Well, I don't think he's
on.
wearing glasses, so of course I'm not watching.
Yeah, right.
I'm
Yeah.
only interested
And you're not
in
wearing
James Spader
glasses
with
either.
glasses.
Do you wear
No.
contacts?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Do you?
No. 2020.
2020, no LASIK, just 2020.
No, so far.
What a gift.
I know, my birthday's coming up, so who knows?
Do you want me to get you LASIK? Who would you like to think you look like when you can't see yourself very well?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Who is it?
Jeez, I wish I had such good questions for my interview of you. Who did you wish you looked like if you had
It has to be someone that you can, if you kind of squint and you sort of wiggle around a little or splash water on a mirror, you could almost pass.
Peter Sellers.
Great. Great. I could have guessed.
Yes,
I couldn't have guessed.
I like him.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
wonderful.
I sometimes think I look like him.
Do you really?
Yeah.
No.
Really?
You can keep hoping, right? Janet Varney, you guys! Thank you so much. You're so great.